for the music next week? That's confusing. Yeah, I see you down for next week. Which sounds good. Were you not supposed to be? You were not aware of leading next week? Ah, gotcha. Okay. Shoot me an email early next week if there's anything that I can be helpful with. Okay, good. Everyone, welcome. We're going to get going in about 2 minutes. Quick word, stage right is mask required, stage left is mask optional. Correct. Very subtle. Hi. Good job. This side is mask optional, or sorry, mask required. This side is mask optional. Shabbat shalom, everyone. Let's start with some song. Yambaya yo, yambaya yo, yambaya ya 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 yo, ya 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 yo, ya 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 yo. Ya ya yamba ya yamba yo. Let's try that again. Ya 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 yo. Yiddy ya ya yo. Yiddy ya yamba ya yamba yo. Yiddy ya ya yo. Ya ya yo. Ya yamba ya yamba yo. One more time. Yiddy ya ya yo. Yiddy ya ya yo. Yiddy ya 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 yo. Yiddy ya ya yo. Yiddy ya ya yo. Yiddy ya yamba ya yamba yo. Who's ready for a B part? Try repeating after me. It gets a little bit more complicated. Ya ya yamba ya da dum bum ba you. Ya ya yamba ya da dum ba ya. Ya ya yamba ya. Try that. Ya ya yamba ya. Me again. Ya, ya, yamba, ya, da, dum, bum, ba. Try that. Ya, ya, yamba, ya, da, dum, ba, ya. Yabba, 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 yo. Try that. Yabba, 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 yeah. Let's try that all together. Ya, ya, yamba, ya, da, dum, ba, yo. Ya, ya, yamba, yo. Ya, ya, yamba, ya, da, dum, ba, yo. Yabba, 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 yo. Yedida-ya-yo, yedida-ya-yo, yedida-yamba-ya-yamba-yo. Yedida-ya-yo, yedida-ya-yo, yedida-yamba-ya-yamba-yo. Yedida-ya-yo, yedida-ya-yo, yedida-yamba-ya-yamba-yo. Yedida-ya-yo, yedida-ya-yo, yedida-yamba-ya-yamba-yo. Ya-ya-yamba-ya-da-dum-ba-do. Ya-ya-yamba-yo. Ya-ya-yamba-ya-da-dum-ba-do. Yabba-yabba-yabba-yabba-do. Yedda-ya-yum-bum-bum-da-ya-yo. Yedda-yamba-ya-yamba-yo. Yedda-ya-yo. Yedda-ya-yo. Yedda-yamba-da-yamba-do. Yedda-ya-yo, yedda-ya-ho, yedda-yamba-ya-yamba-yo. Yedda-ya-ya, yedda-ya-ya, yedda-yamba-da-yamba-do. Yo-yamba-da-da-da-dum-ba-yo. Yo. Shabbat shalom, everyone. It's my favorite thing to start with a nigun and close my eyes with very few people in our physical space and in our Zoom space, and then open my eyes, and all of a sudden there's people. Welcome to folks, to our friends in our Makom Minyan, to people watching on live stream. Welcome to those in our physical space, to our space in South Minneapolis on unceded Dakota land. My name is Rabbi Joey Glick. I use he, him pronouns. As a point of visual access, I have my hair up tonight, big glasses, and a smile on my face. Is there anyone here in our physical space or online who's here for the very first time?
I'm here for the first time in a new spirit. I feel like we weren't here, but we were drawn in by your new moon.
For folks online, apparently Rondi, who is here almost every week, is here in a totally new spirit. Is there anyone here who's here for the first time on Zoom or physically here for the first time in a very long time? Well, welcome back.
Our state senator.
Often these services, our Friday night services, are filled with opportunities for community recognition of new babies, of bar mitzvahs, of birthdays and anniversaries, and about 100 other sorts of milestones. And our last few weeks have been filled with this, with all these joyous occasions. And tonight, y'all, we have bupkis. There's a bar mitzvah tomorrow, but the family, But the family's not with us. They're having supper with their out-of-town guests. All we have tonight, which is a lot, is each other, our own voices, our access to the tradition, our practice of listening and singing together. We'll take that practice, all of that, and turn it into holy sparks tonight, joyous sparks, as we light candles on page 2. Usually make other people do this. It's harder than it looks. We sing our way into the service, starting on page 12, number 3 online, Lechune Ranana. Lechune Ranana, Ladonai, Litzor Yisheinu Nikad Mavanav Bedola Mizmira Page 13, number 4 online. Shiru l'Adonai, Shir Chadash, Shiru l'Adonai, Kol haaretz. Shiru l'Adonai, Baruch Shemo, Vasru miyom leyom, Yeshuato, Yadadadadai, Sapru v'agoyim, Kevodo, Bechol ha'amim, Niflotav, Ki gadol Adonai, Lahol meyo norahu al kol Elohim, Ki kol Elohei ha'amim elilim, L'Adonai shamayim asa. Hove hadar lefanav, hoz v'tiferet b'mikdasho, yadadadada yismechu hashamayim v'tagel haaretz, yiram hayam umelo. Ya'alo Sadai v'chol asher bo, haz yeranenu kol atzeyar, lifnei Adonai kiva lishpot haaretz, yishpot hevel betzedek ve'amin be'emunat, yadadadada yadadadada yadadam yayamba yadadadada hayamba yadadadado hayayada yadadadada yadadadada yayamba yadadadada amba yamba yadadadadam Yamba yada yo. Number 5 online, last paragraph on page 17. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'istachavut harokot. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'istachavut le'har kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'istachavut le'har kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'istachavut le'har kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'istachavut. Oh, Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'istachavut le'har kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ay, romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'istachavut kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'istachavut le'har kodsho. For anyone who has needed an extra nap this week, for anyone who is calling out for energy and strength, We turn to our purple sheets, number 1 on them, the words of Ana Bakoach. Ana Bakoach gedulat yemincha tatir terura tatir terura kaberinat rinatam chasavenu tareinu nora ana bekoa gedulat yemincha tatit serura kabel horinatam chasavenu tareinu nora ho ho hi ya ho ya da da ya ho hi ya ho ya da da yo ya da da yo ya da da yo hi da da yo hi ya da da. I believe in solid ground until I saw the earth in motion. Oh, in the wind of steady change, and in the ever-rolling ocean. Oh, I believe in solid ground until I saw the earth in motion. Oh, in the winds of steady change, and in the ever-rolling ocean. Ana bekoach gedulat yemincha ho tatir terura tatir terura kaberinat rinatam chasavenu tareinu nora ho ho hi ya ho ho ya da da ya ho ho hi ya ho ho ya da da yo ya da da yo ya da da yo ya da da yo We call in whatever we need tonight. Open up the doors of our hearts, open up the doors of our physical and emotional spaces on page 20 with the words Lecha Dodi. It's a tradition in our community, given the lack of new hands, this might be familiar, to go outside during the last verse. So anyone who wants to, in our physical space, in our virtual space, feel free to go out and dance in the wilderness. Lecha Dodi likrat kala P'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kahala. P'nei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'diborechai. Hishmi'anu el hamyuchad. Adonai echad u'shemo echad. L'shem ultiferet ve'litila. Lecha dodi likrat kahala. P'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kahala. P'nei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nilcha. Ki hi mekor habraracha. Merosh mikedem nesucha. Sof ma'aseh b'machshava tehila. Lecha dodi likrat kahala. P'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kahala. P'nei Shabbat nekabela. Mikdash melech melucha. Kumitzehi mitoch hafecha. Rav lashevet be'emek habacha. Vechu yachamol alayichem la. Lecha dodi likrat kahala. P'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kahala. P'nei Shabbat nekabela. Hi na'arim me'afar kuhumi. Lishi bigdei tifartechami. Hayad beni shai beit halachmi. Korva el nafshi ge'alai. Lecha dodi likrat kahala. P'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kahala. P'nei Shabbat nekabela. Hitahari kiva orekumi hori. Uri shir daberi. Kevod Adonai alayich ningla. Hay lecha doi. Oh, oh, oh. Hay likrat kahala. Hay p'nei Shabbat. P'nei Shabbat nekabela. Hay lecha doi. Oh, oh, oh. Hay likrat kahala. Hay p'nei Shabbat. P'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lo tevoshi velo tika. Mahishtochavi umateni. Ba Yesu ha'neham. Neta hirati hiradaya layaya lecha dodi oh hayaya likrat kahala hayaya p'nei Shabbat nekabela hayaya lecha dodi oh hayaya likrat kahala hayaya p'nei Shabbat nekabela Hayulim saso sai veraku komevalai Yasisalai Elohai Elkim Satan Achatan Ay lechado Oh Ay likrat kalai Ay pene Shabbat Pene Shabbat nekavela Ay lechadodi oh Ay pene kala Ay pene Shabbat nekavela Yaminus multifro Vetadonai Ariti Ayarish Ben Par Venis Nismecha Venagila Yedaya Hay Chadodi Hay Lika Kala Pene Shabbat nekavela Ay lechado Oh ay likrat kala Ay Pene Shabbat nekavela Bohi v'shalom ater Gabe simcha uvesohala Tochem uneham segula Bohi v'chala Bohi kala Ay lechadodi Ay likrat kala Ay pene Shabbat nekavela Ay lechadodi Ay likrat kala Ay pene Shabbat nekavela Ay lechadod Ay likrat kala Ay pene Shabbat nekavela Ay lechadodi Ay likrat kala Ay pene Shabbat nekavela Shabbat Shalom, everyone. We'll take the next 4 minutes to greet folks around us in the physical space, to go into breakout rooms. It will get loud in here. If you want a quieter space, head outside or into the Oneg Hall. ay, 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 yo. Ay, 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 yo. Ay, 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 da, da, do. Ay, 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 yo, yo, yo. Yeah, da, da, do. We move from hardcore singy into an opportunity for prayer. Our evening service starts on page 28. Please rise in body or spirit. Ya da dum ba ya da yo da yo. Ya da da ya yo. Ay ya da da ya ya da da ya. Ay da da ya 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 ya. Baruch Adonai Hamevorach. Hamevorach, Hamevorach, Leolam Vaed. Feel free to take a seat. We turn to page 30, and as we do, we take this opportunity to bless the changing of time, the coming of seasons, and the going of seasons, the coming of light and the going away of light. I invite folks to take a moment to notice the light in your physical or in your virtual space. What are the colors that you see? What are the shadows that are cast? What are the lines between the shadows and the colors? Taking a big breath in and out. Bless the bringer of light. Umavir yohum umevi laila, umavdil men yamum ben laila, Adonai tzvaot shemo, El chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu leolam vaed. Baruch atah Adonai, Amari Varachim. We turn to page 32. In a moment, we'll bless a God that brings love into the world. I'd invite folks tonight, if you'd like, to bring into your heart and into your mind someone who has just loved you totally and fully in your life. What has it felt like? How have you felt that love coming into you? Taking a big breath in and out. Ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu uvehem nega yomam v'layla ve'aftecha tasir mimenu le'olamim Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael. We stand in body or spirit on page 34. Shema Yisrael. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Le'olam Vaed. You can be seated. Page 36. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha B'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom alevavecha v'shinatam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlechtecha v'derech u'shokbecha u'kumecha u'kshartan le'od ayadecha v'hayu letotafot beinenecha uvtaftam amizuzot beitecha uvisharecha leman tizkeru vasitem et kol mitzotai v'hem kedoshim elechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lehiot lechem l'Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem. We turn to page 40. Sing the words of Michamocha, singing out a feeling and need for liberation. Michamocha ba'elim Adonai, Michamocha neder ba'kodesh, Norah tehillah hosef eleh, Norah tehillah hosef eleh. Michamocha ba'elim Adonai, Michamocha neder ba'kodesh, Norah tehillah hosef eleh, Norah tehillah hosef eleh. Michamocha ba'elim Adonai, Michamocha neder ba'kodesh, Norah tehillah hosef eleh, Norah tehillah hosef eleh. V'nehemar ki fada Adonai et Yaakov ugalo miyad chazak mimenu baruch ata Adonai Gal Yisrael. We turn to page 42, 3 lines down. Ufros aleinu Sukkot, Sukkot, Shalom Echa, Ufros, Ufros aleinu, Sukkot, Sukkot, Shalom Echa, Ufros aleinu, Sukkot, Sukkot, Shalom Echa. We rise in body or spirit on page 44. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat Lasot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam beritolam V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat Lasot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam beritolam Beni uven bnei Yisrael Oti leolam Oti leolam V'shamru bnei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat Lasot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam beritolam Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et ha'aretz v'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat Lasot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam Uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafash Shabbat vayinafash Shabbat vayinafash Shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat Lasot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam beritolam. We stay standing, turning to page 46. We'll start our Amida together with these words, Adonai Sefatav Tiftach, and then go into an opportunity for quiet. For some of us, this might be a return to a lot of quiet in this last week, and for some of us, this might be the first time we've had a chance to slow down. Listen in this quiet for whatever voices of encouragement, of joy, of sparks of life you need to hear. We'll start together on page 46. Adonai Sfatav Tiftach Ufi Adonai Sfatav Tiftach Ufi Ose shalom bimrama. Uyase shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael. V'imru. Amen. Yase shalom, Yase shalom, Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yase shalom, Yase shalom, Shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. We'll take a couple minutes in our service to pray for those in our lives, in our community, in need of healing. I'll do a quick look around the room. As my eyes pass to you, feel free to say the name or names of anyone that's on your heart tonight. We'll then come together and sing the words Ana Elna, that are number 2 on your sheet here. When the world is in, can no one be well? Well, I dreamt we were all beautiful and strong. When the world is sick, can no one be well? But I dreamt we were all beautiful and strong. Ya da da ya yo, ya da Shabbat shalom. When I was 22 years old, I moved into an intentional service community supported by the Mennonite Church in my hometown of Pittsburgh. I believe that I might have initially been welcomed into this community because of my last name, Glick, which is a very common Mennonite last name, leading the community to believe that I came from a prominent Mennonite family. To their credit, when they realized they had admitted a scrawny Jewish kid instead of a strong, farm-raised Mennonite, the community was nothing but welcoming and gracious. Months into my tenure in the community, I heard about a baking contest sponsored by the church. My housemates warned me that these peace-loving Mennonite grandmas were serious about their baking and were known to play dirty. With the hubris of youth, I thought I could take on the grandmas. And in the closest I've come to athletic success in my life, I ended up winning the first place trophy for my challah, which I still have today. In case you can't see it, it is a gold rolling pin. Again, a high point of my life. I tell this story because there's something strange in the challah tonight. Not in our community's challah, which is, I assure you, delicious and fresh, but in this week, but in our Parsha's description of the mitzvah of challah, this week I fell down an etymological rabbit hole, thinking about the origin and meaning of the word challah. I've emerged with more questions than answers and would love you all's help in thinking through this word together. Okay, so some background. Our Torah portion describes the commandment. When one bakes bread in the land of Israel, they should take a handful of dough and bake it to a crisp separately as an offering to God. This knot of dough is called challah. Through time and cultural exchange, this original mitzvah of charred bread has become our sweet German braided thing that we all enjoy today in gluten and gluten-free forms. Here's where things get strange. The verbal root of this word challah is chet lamed lamed. In its verbal form, this root means to desecrate, to set aside, to make unholy. Based on this background, we might define the word challah as that unholy stuff. Weird, right? Why is this holy bread our delicious Shabbos treat, the dough we're supposed to offer up to God, why is it called by the Bible unholy stuff? I'd like to pause here and open up the floor and our Zoom floor for responses. I have a few thoughts really informed by, as always, I bring my questions to the morning minyan, and they offer a lot of wisdom. So I have a few answers channeling them. But before we get there, I would love to hear from you all. Why do you think challah has this name of unholiness baked into it? Take 1 second to think. I'm going to grab a microphone, and I would love to hear from you. Any thoughts?
Thank you. I don't know, I just had a thought that no matter how perfect we might think something is, and perfect is an impossible word anyway, it's a reminder, I think, that there's always something in it that maybe we still need to work on or that isn't perfect.
I love that. Baked into our holiness is imperfection, which I know deeply well by burning about 1/3 of the challahs I've ever baked. Yeah, go.
The letter chet belongs to the same phonetic group as hey and ayin, so that it is phonetically cognate, at least if you buy that that's a valid way to do Hebrew etymology of hallel, to praise, and all, which is over, which is, was it last week, Beha Aloteka? There's something having to do with the fact that sacred and profane as opposites. Again, if you buy this sort of thing, they have to be conceived together, like you can't conceive motion without rest, right? And I guess there's another thing of kadosh as a word, holiness, classically holiness, also has a neutral connotation of just setting apart something, so that depending on vocalization, the same root can apply to things that are profane because apart.
I love that, again, kind of braiding together the holiness and unholiness, and the way in which in Hebrew the words for to make holy or to praise and to profane are like deeply close to each other. Hallel Hashem, to praise God. Chilul Hashem, to curse God. Very careful. Yeah.
I was thinking, if you take this thing that's really sweet and good, but the commandment is also to have it be charred, then it's sort of a combination of, the good and the bad, but maybe there's something about some holy goodness kind of thing, and if you don't watch life carefully enough, it becomes charred, and so desecrated in that way, and maybe a message that we're supposed to take care and be careful, otherwise things will become ruined in some way. Yeah, right. Watch your back, watch your oven.
And I wasn't quite sure, like, when the braiding came in, or if that's later, but I just thinking about wedding rings. Like, the vow for when you get married is, I will make you holy unto me or thee or whatever it is. And so it's about holiness, but that the ring is supposed to be unending and smooth and not braided and so on. And so the concept of holiness is not textured and that it's an infinite circle. And so if you're making a bread that's braided, then it'll have little imperfections in it and it may not be holy.
Let's look over towards the Zoom. I love this. Amy Rand writing down, challah is sweet, but we're supposed to add salt as well. There's a tradition on Shabbat of adding salt to your challah, but there's another tradition that the year after a big simcha, like a wedding, you get to add honey. Adele and I are just running out of our honey year. We're kind of stressed about it. Any other thoughts?
I like to think about bread and challah as a transformation is what happens, and that's something that happens, it's a transformation of something that might be desecrated into something that is holy, and that's the process, the magic that happens with bread and challah.
One last view coming from our chat from Dylan. Something that we might mark holiness with something common and imperfect, along the lines of, hey, if you want to burn it, it's still okay. It's actually more than okay, right? To take away the concept of human perfection, and also, frankly, it's a human process. It's not that bread is holy, it's what and how we treat it and hold it that makes it so. There's kind of nothing better than bringing a question to this community. I love the answers. So again, in conclusion, I want to say a few words that are channeling the morning minyan that I brought this question to a few days ago. I want to throw one more ingredient into our bread. This verse where we get the commandment to tear off challah for God, it goes on to tell us we should fulfill this mitzvah, how we should fulfill this mitzvah. We are supposed to put aside the challah, ki truma gloren, like the offering of the grain floor. What the heck is the offering of the grain floor, you might be asking? Later on in Deuteronomy, we learned that we are commanded to feed the poor in our community with the leftover of grain that's fallen onto the threshing floor, the barn space where we process wheat. So we are supposed to offer bread to God in the same way that we offer charity. I think of this image of God, and I think of a definition of that root, chet lamed lamen, given by the Hebrew linguist Marcus Jastrow, to place outside a circle. In the mitzvah of challah, God does not exist in the center. God is not with those of us with fully stocked, well-secured kitchens. Rather, God scavenges the barn floor with the poor folks. God is with the wanderer and the outsider and the kid who doesn't feel safe in their school, the refugee struggling to make a new home. If you have found yourself on the outside, the mitzvah of challah calls out to you. God is there right beside you. And while in my bones, I like this vision of the divine, I love this vision of the divine, I think there's something else to learn here as well. To those of us with privilege, to anyone who has the power to draw a line between outsider and insider, the sweet smell of challah calls us to examine ourselves, to deconstruct the boundaries we might place between in and out, and holy and unholy. Shabbat shalom. Okay, we'll bless it out. You'll find the words of our communal blessing on number 3 on the purple sheets. And Zoom friends, please feel free to start typing away at blessings that I'll read out into this community. Malach hagoel oti, Malach hagoel oti mikora, Eharet hanaharim vayikra vehem shemi, Vishem avotai, Vishem avotai, Avraham v'Yitzchak v'yigdu larov, v'yigdu larov b'kerev haaretz. Yizmechem Elohim gazara gerivka cherachel ucheleya ke'Ephraim v'chi Menashe. Yevarechecha Adonai ve'yishmarecha. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha ve'yichuneka. Yisa Adonai panav elecha ve'yasem lecha shalom. Yiridaya yadaya yo-yo. Yiridaya yadaya yo ya-ya-ya. Ya-ya-ya-ya-ya-ya-yo. May we connect to all parts of ourselves and reach out to those beyond our inner circle. May we each find the holy in those who are standing on the outside. May all the high school graduates today go into the world and make it a better place. May we be pleased with the ability to make the unholy holy. May we find our way inside if we are standing on the outside. May we continue to solve etymology issues together in community. May we braid others into our community. May we reach out to others in making the world better. May we forgive ourselves if we burn the challah. May we have chaotic moments of joy and serendipity. May we show up for each other, and may others show up for us. May we be the last to doubt in our blessed ability to transform from desecrated to holy. Ken yehi ratzon. Yididaya yadaya yo. Yididaya yadaya yo. We turn to page 284, standing in body or spirit, 7 line down on the page. V'hashevota helimavecha ki Adonai hu Elohim ho v'hashevota Helevavecha Ki Havaya Hiya Elohim Hiya Elohim V'nehema Haya Adonai L'macha Kol haaretz vayom hahu yeh Adonai echad Ushemo Folks can be seated. When I figure out how to have all the papers I want up here in a sensible order, I will feel a huge sense of accomplishment. We'll take the next couple minutes to remember folks in our community who have died and people in our lives that we're remembering. I'll read a list of folks who have died in the last 30 days and a list of folks who have died at this time in years past. I invite you, if you hear someone on this list who you knew and love, please feel free to raise your hand and flail. If I keep on reading, yell at me. And I'd love to come over to you, give you the mic, and we'd love to hear just a sentence or two story about the person that you're remembering. Tonight we're remembering Elliot Mendick, brother of Stuart Mendick. Steve Newman, brother of Jane Newman and brother-in-law of Amy Lang.
My brother Steve was 8 years older than I and took care of me a lot when I was young, when I was a baby, because I apparently cried a lot. And he took care of me a lot, and we enjoyed a lot of movies and music and comedy and roller coasters and all kinds of fun stuff until probably excess, but that's beside the point. Thank you.
Eileen Silver, mother of Laura Silver. We're remembering the yard sites of Molly Bussick, Jane Bussick's mother.
My mother died in 1981, and she's basically the reason why I'm an artist today. When I was a kid, we used to sit at the kitchen table and do art together, and she loved painting, and she did a lot of needlework and stuff like that, and now I'm an artist, and I think it's all because of my mom. Love her very much. I miss her.
Gurka Silag, Boris Silag's father. Nicholas Decker Weiss, Kate Weiss's nephew. Amos Deinard, Robert Kellen's grandfather. Sylvia Feschbach, David Feschbach's grandmother. Bill Grossman, Barbara Grossman's father. Samuel Hartman, Maury Hartman's father. Robin Leopard, Barbara S. Weiner's sister. Joseph Nudell, Jeremy Kalin's grandfather. Esther Marie Sauter, Sia Sauter's mother. Estelle Shankman, Tema Shankman's mother. Martha Simone, Michael Simone's grandmother. Frances Rose Small, Sarah Small's grandmother. Matthew Weiss, Shelley Miner's father. Jack Ziegler, beloved member of Shir Tikva. Are there any other names that folks would like to bring forward tonight?
I'm in the shloshim of remembering a dear friend of mine, Joyce Kenny. She was a force to be reckoned with. Just someone who was highly opinionated and strong-minded and deeply loving and caring, and she made the best pecan pie. She was from the South, and just the best pecan pie. I miss her dearly.
This is the art set of my father, George Levine, and he was amazing and just great sense of humor, very optimistic. And I think like the happiest moment of his life for me was meeting Harry. And it's our anniversary today, so I'll just note that. But he adored him.
I'm remembering my granddaughter, Molly McCarthy, who died about a year ago. And there's just nothing sadder than losing a grandchild. And she left a twin sister who I take climbing once a week at a climbing gym, because that's an activity that all three of us enjoyed before Molly got sick.
Anyone else? You can find the words of the Mourner's Kaddish on page 294. I invite folks to rise in body or spirit. Yitkada v'yikada shemei Rabbah be'amad divra chiruteh ve'amlich malchuteh b'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chaye decho beit Yisrael b'gala uv'izman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam omei omaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitale v'yithalal shemei dekutsha b'rechu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiram be'alma v'yimru amen. Yehi shlama Rabbah min shamaya V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom v'yimramav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'yimru amen. Folks can be seated. I'll call MJ up to give us some announcements.
Shabbat Shalom. My name is MJ Gilbert. I am a member of the board. Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for being here tonight. It is incredible to be in the space that we weave together, analog and virtual. At the end of the service, this is always comes up way up front in the announcements, and I have to say, for me, it's very self-serving since I'm the person responsible for dealing with the books and the handouts. At the end of the service, please return the prayer books to the usher table and separate the song sheets from the Sidurim. I did not write that in there, but it's there. Mazal Tov to Jim and Andrea Rubenstein on the birth of their new grandson, Barry Anton Drahos Rubenstein, born at 8 pounds 9 ounces on Friday, June 2nd. And Mazel Tov to Ari Riskin, who's becoming Bar Mitzvah tomorrow morning. Thank you to all of those who made tonight possible, our beloved Rabbi Joey Gordon, who makes the sound happen and the pictures happen, the Makom Minyan for bringing us your blessings, David Bailey and Lori Sweet. Thank you to our Shomrim for your steady presence and creating the space that allows us to concentrate on our prayer. There's a lot going on at Shir Tikva. The way to find out what's going on at Shir Tikva is to look at the weekly e-news and on our website. There are a couple of quick highlights. This weekend is the last weekend to sign up for the new round of chavurot, or small groups around a particular interest. If you're interested in any of these groups, from a group of elders, for interfaith families, to a Jewish book club, et cetera, take a look at your e-news or the Shabbat message to sign up. A couple of quick programmatic things. Registration for JAMI, Shir Tikva's youth education community, is open. Read about next year and get registered. Everything you need to know is online at www.shirtikvamn.org/ I presume that you can kind of get that first part. JAMI, that's J-A-M-I. I'm not going to spell out the whole thing. There is something for every child of every age from pre-K to 12th grade. If you all of a sudden have a school-age child or are a new or potentially new member or otherwise want to know more about JAMI and youth and family education at Shir Tikva, please read up online and be in touch with Forrest. Registration is open through the end of July. On that note, Shir Tikva is hiring. If you think that you might have it in you to be a Bar Mitzvah tutor starting this summer, or an Edah or cohort teacher for this coming fall, and if you want to feel impressed and inspired by this generation of young people, please consider joining the faculty. One faculty member now famously, if you come here week after week, says, "This is the best place I have ever worked." So reach out to Forrest if you have interest. Next Friday's tefillah service is going to be masked. If that isn't the best fit for you, please join us on Zoom. One announcement that isn't on here, but I'm just going to, since I have the mic, I can make. This Sunday, at the incredibly humane hour of noon, is Shir Tikva's annual meeting. If you are a member, and if you're not sure you're a member, after Shabbat, email Jessica, our executive director, and find out if you're a member. And if you're not a member, become a member. But if you are a member of Bar Mitzvah age or older, if you love the way you feel when you come into this room, if you love the things you learn in classes, if you love the people who you meet here, please give a little bit of your time and attention to the infrastructure and the structures and the work that needs to be done to build and sustain this community. And one small way you can do that is by coming to the annual meeting. And I say this parenthetically as we enjoy the beautiful new piece of abstract art that some of you may have noticed on our ceiling. I have a couple of alternative conceptions for this. It is either a piece of art that we call "Let the Wave Wash Over Me," or alternatively, if you squint real hard, and I'm sorry those of you, maybe you can't see it. If you squint real hard, it looks like Eliyahu Hanavi. But it is a sign of why this community needs your care. So Sunday at noon, if you're a member, check your email. All the info you need to Zoom in is there. One last reminder, this community wants to support you. So if you need support, if you know a member of this community who needs support, please reach out to the rabbis if you're encountering a life change so that the Shir Tikva network of support can be activated. And to help with that care, there's always room for more volunteers to do such things as provide rides here. If you think you might be able to help with that, please talk to our beloved Rabbi Joey. Shabbat Shalom. What? Oh. And tomorrow, what time? 2. Tomorrow at 2. Shabbat sing-along out in the courtyard, presuming that the weather's going to hold, which I think it is. Kind of unfortunate because we need the rain. Shabbat Shalom.
Thanks so much, MJ. We'll close out our service on page 5, Blessing Line. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, barei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabar kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron lema'aser v'reishi, ki hu yom techila lemikra hekodesh, zecher l'tziyah Mitzrayim. Ki vanu v'acharta, ve'otanu kidashta, im kol ha'amim, ve'shabbat kodshecha, be'ahava uvratzon, hinchaltanu. Brucha at Shechina mekadeshet haShabbat. I'd like to welcome up graduates of our recent Soulful Jewish Text class. Folks have been studying for the last year in our conversion program and our adult Bar Mitzvah program to learn beautiful and deep Jewish basics. For folks in our physical space, if you'll join me up here to help us bless the challah. For folks online, you are symbolically sending our challah this way. I just want to say I had the best time ever getting to learn with you all, and I so hope that the learning gets to be just as sweet as this challah in your life going forward. 3, 2, 1. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz v'te'avot. You guys should feel free to get an early bite. We'll close in song, and then there's an oneg outside. Huge thanks to David. Huge thanks to the whole team for making our oneg happen tonight. Oh, multiple Davids. Yum ba da da ya yum ba, yum ba da da ya ya da da, yum ba da da ya yum ba, yum ba ya da da yum ba, yum ba da da ya yum ba, yum ba da da ya ya da da, yum ba da da ya yum ba, yum ba ya da da yum ba, yum ba ya da da, yum ba ya da da. Yamba yamba yada da, yamba yada da, yamba 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 yada da, yamba yamba yada da, yamba yamba yada da, yamba yada da, yamba. Shabbat shalom, everyone.